Hey everybody, it's Leah Gordon. Lime Life by Alcone Beauty Guide. How is everyone doing? As some of you may know, if you've seen my post, we have concealers back in stock today. 0 and 2. Those are really popular colors. 0 is great for really fair people for coverage, and it's also good as anyone to use for a highlight. And then concealer 2 is popular with fair people, people like me. And I'm going to show y'all how to use them today for a waterproof face. Our concealers are waterproof, opaque. They provide wonderful coverage. They're blendable, and a little goes a long way. So I'm going to start with concealer 0. Let's see. I'm just going to put it on the back of my hand. Then I'm going to use a concealer brush and dip it in my foundation. And I'm going to apply this to spots where I want some coverage and a little bit of highlight. Now, as you can see, I've got some dark circles, but they're not super bad today. I just applied my Eye Aspire, and that really helps to lighten those circles and any wrinkles or bags. Eye Aspire is our eye serum, and it's really nice. So I just blend it in under my eye, and then what's left, I put on my eyelid as an eyeshadow primer. So, just use my finger, and see the difference? It's just more even. And we'll do the same thing. I, like most people, suffer from being tired. So as you can see, my lower lid is really red. And I just use the concealer to help cover that up a little bit. And then just blend it with my finger. Put some on my eyelid as an eyeshadow primer. And then I'll put a little bit here for highlight and just discoloration coverage. And then I'll be done with the 0 for the beginning part. So there you can see it primed my eyelids and took my dark circles away. So that in itself isn't a blessing. Is a blessing. So now I'm going to use concealer 2. Again, I'm going to take some and put it on the back of my hand. Mix it around with my concealer brush. And now I'm going to use this for coverage that is going to be waterproof and long lasting. With this, I'm just going to apply it and kind of dot it on. Spread it out a little bit, and I'll use my foundation brush to really get this, to make it smooth and flawless. But right now I just want to get the concealer on and cover up redness, blemishes, and really just even out my skin tone. So again, this is concealer 2. It is back in stock today, and it is good for fairish people. Concealer 0 is really fair, and it's great for my super light friends. And then concealer 2 is for fair skin people. You know, maybe not the fairest of the fair, but you're still really light complected. So now I'm just going to take my flat concealer brush and blend my flat foundation brush, I think I called it my concealer brush, and blend it in like I would a cream foundation. And you just want to kind of hold it towards the end of the brush and blend it out. That way you're not too heavy-handed, but I'm not going to have lines from where I applied the product. And I have to remember it's on my hand and not to touch things. And you can see, I mean, that coverage is amazing. I think it is. If you think it is, throw some hearts up, thumbs up. If you're watching me live, feel free to say hi. If you're catching the replay, give me a comment when you hop on so I know you watched. Or you can just watch without saying hi. And then I blend it into my neck a little. And that's just for, you know, good matching purposes. This is a really good color for me. So it's not a dramatic difference from my neck. And I'm going to put a little bit of foundation over this and carry a little bit of foundation down, because I have a lot of redness here too. Now, well, I don't normally do that every day, but today I'm going to do it just to show you what you can do when you really want to have a flawless look. Okay, so that is concealer 0 and 2 applied all over. This is waterproof, sweat-proof. It's not going anywhere. So I'm going to leave that here. And now I'm going to use a little bit of foundation and apply it to my brush. And then just tap it on. And this is more this is a perfect match for my complexion. So I'm just going to go blend it down on my neck and then just blend the foundation over the concealer. And I'm using Olive 2. I'm not the palest of the pale, but I'm definitely not tan at the moment. I'm wearing some new earrings I got. A friend of mine, Lanny, posted a really cute pair of earrings she bought from her friend at an Etsy shop. So I went to check it out, and I had to get these baseball earrings. They're leather and kind of glittery, and Lucas has a baseball game tonight. So I call these my baseball mom earrings, and then my red and white top. His team colors are red and white, and I think black, but his uniform is red and white. So, like that, I now have complete coverage, waterproof. So, I'm going to put those two up for a second, and then I'm going to start to add some color and depth back into my face. I still want to have a natural look, but I want to have some, you know, I want to have some color. So, this is my favorite powder palette. This is the No Color Setting Powder, bronzer, and then my favorite blush. So, the first thing I'm going to do is use the tip of this brush for the bronzer, like that. And I'm going to start right here and just blend it down a little bit. And that's just a little shadowing. It gives me color, and it also, you know, contours or shadows my face a little bit. And our bronzer, we have one bronzer. It's called Perfect Bronzer because it's good to use with all skin types. No matter what shade you are, this works for you. And I just apply it to the places that work for me. Like right here on my cheekbones gives me a little facial shadowing. And then on each side of my forehead, kind of takes away the squareness from my face and gives me a little more face shape. And then by putting it right here, it kind of helps camouflage that double chin. And then I just brush it out. Okay, so that was with the tip of my brush. Now I'm going to take the side of my brush with Limelight on it, tap it into my blush, just like that. Give it a little shake, because these blushes are really pigmented, and then blend it on right above that the bronzer. And now I'm starting to look alive. I've got a little bronzer, a little blush, and I have some color, but yet I still have coverage. Just throw some stuff on. And then I'm gonna save this side of my brush that doesn't have limelight on it to apply my setting powder when I'm completely finished. So the next thing I want to do is take a shadow brush like this, just a fluffy brush, and I'm just going to use that bronzer, dip my brush in it, and use it as a little bit of shadow. And that is really what I do 99% of the time with my shadow, is tap it on my eyelid and blend it out into a dome shape. And when I say like 99% of the time, I mean unless I'm either showing you an eyeshadow look or if I have something kind of fancy to do, because I like simple makeup, and this is as simple as you can get. Now, I don't use the bronzer every day. I have tons of eyeshadow colors, so I rotate them out. But today I'm just going with the bronzer. And there you go. My eyeshadow is done. Finished. And then I'm going to use a shadow for this. I can find my brush. I'm going to use that angled brush to put a little bit of eyeliner on. Okay, so I'm going to use, I'll use this brush, and you can see it's heavily angled. So what I'm going to do is take the same brown that I used for my eyebrows. It's called Brownie Points. The eyebrows are a different video, but I'll be glad to show you how I did my eyebrows if you're ever curious. So I dipped the angled brush into that dark brown, and just apply it right on my lash line. And with that, I dip and tap so I don't get overwhelmed with too much pigment and too much color. And we'll do it to the other side. And then my eyes are finished except for mascara, and I'm going to put the mascara on after I do my finishing powder. And for my lips, I'm going to use a red lip pencil. Since I have the red theme going on, I could use a nude, I could use any color I wanted, but I was thinking today, should I go nude or should I go red? But since I have the bronzer and just a soft eye look, I'm going to go with the red lip pencil. And these lip liners are super creamy. They're super creamy, super long lasting, and it's gonna dry to a matte finish. And if I like, which sometimes I do, I'll put a little bit of chapstick over it. Does that look straight? I think so. Okay, so now my face is on, except for my mascara. So I'm going to take the other side of my brush, how I left this side clean, tap it in the No Color setting powder, and then just tap it on my face. And that just gives me extra lasting help, extra lasting protection, because it helps my makeup stay in place. And then we're going to finish with our setting spray. I use Time Setter. We have two setting sprays. One is for oily skin or for people who like a matte finish. I don't have oily skin, and I don't prefer a matte finish. So I use Time Setter. It used to be called 10 Years Younger Finishing Spray. And I like that one because it gives my skin a little bit of a dewy finish. And as we age and lose moisture, I like that dewy finish. I think it's more youthful. So I'm going to use my Perfect Mascara, and you can see I bend my brush so it's easier for me to use. I'm so glad the fluffy brush is back. Let me pull my hair out of the way. And when you're putting mascara on, just make sure you get every lash covered. That's really important to having a nice full eye look, like even the little babies in the center that we get. And I like to fan these out at the end. And it's, if you're a lash person, you can tell, like my lashes have zero curl. Zero. They're really straight. But I do have lashes. They're just invisible without mascara. So I've been seeing people getting those lash lifts, and I thought about looking into those. And anything that I mess up, I'll clean up when I'm done. Okay, so there's one eye with the Perfect Mascara. See? Like over here, invisible. Over here, look, I have lashes. And one thing, like when I use the mascara, I wipe like, I don't know, 90% of the product off, because when you have lashes that don't curl, you realize that putting a heavy weighted gel on there is going to pull your lashes down more, and they're not going to want to curl. So I use I'll clean that up, don't worry. I use mascara to darken and to give it some length, but I'm not trying to put a whole heavy load of gel on there because it just weighs them down. And I like whatever curl I have to stay. Whoops, okay. Okay, so this side is a little messy, and we're going to clean it up. And that's just kind of a fact of life when you put mascara on, especially when you wear glasses like I do, and you can't really see. So remember that when you're watching my tutorials, I can't see without my glasses. So over here, I'm using my angled brush again with that brown pigment. And I'm going to tap over that liner. And that's going to eliminate any spots of mascara I had. Now this eye is more messy, so I'm going to take my concealer brush and just go over. Hey Lucy, what you doing? And just go over where I had my major mishap here. And you can see it kind of covers it and cleans it. I always thought it was funny how when people would prove their, and then I'm just going to tap my bronzer back on the shadow. But you know how people would put Sharpie on their face? Oh, you're staying busy. And say, oh, look, my foundation covers the Sharpie. Well, the foundation was actually like removing the Sharpie. I mean, I'm not saying foundation can't cover up a Sharpie, but most of the time when you use a product like that, it removes it, just like my concealer brush just did. Okay, so I'm going to use my liner brush again, go over my liner, and now I'm going to spray my finishing spray far off, just like that, to protect my liner and shadow. And I'm ready to go to the ball game. Lucy, I'm glad glad you joined me. I don't do a lot of lives over here. I'm going to share it on my main page. If y'all have any questions about the makeup or anything else I talked about, feel free to message me. See you later.